Well, hello everyone, Dan Hurd with Dan Hurd Prospecting here. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome. I hope to earn your subscription today. I'm here on Tranquille Creek in Kamloops, British Columbia. One of the most beautiful creeks around. And it happens to be a public panning reserve with great gold. I get questions all the time. Where do I find gold? Where should I dig? What do I look for? My thought today is I'm gonna throw some chest waders on. I'm gonna jump in that creek. I'm gonna walk up the creek and point out every spot I would try for gold and try a few of them and see what they have. For instance, this gravel layer right behind me. Anyhow, wish me luck and I hope you enjoy. Now, of course, everyone wants to know where exactly they're gonna find all that gold. And I can't tell you for sure. There are some basics, you know, behind a big rock, on an inside corner, on bedrock. But there's a lot more, you know, idiosyncrasies than that. For instance, this gravel layer here with slough material on top, this is an old creek channel bed way above the river. That could hold gold. It might not. There are lots of places all over this river like this that are good things to try. Let me walk up the river and show you what they are. Now that's enough talking. Let's get the chest waders on and jump in the water and go find that gold. So yesterday I was detecting all downstream from here, detecting other people's workings to see what they missed. I said I would start today's video from where I left off yesterday at my little hotspot. So I'm gonna start from right here. I won't talk much about my little hot spot here because I've done lots of videos from this spot and explained a lot of why I tried here. I want to go find new spots. So I'm walking upstream from here, pointing out all the spots I would try. And, of course, trying them. As I point out new spots, I'm not necessarily going to follow or tell you about British Columbia's placer regulations and rules, because we have some little idiosyncrasies that might stop me from digging in some of these spots. And that's because my viewers come from all over the world and the regulations are different everywhere you're at. So you might want to check on some of the regulations in your areas to make sure you're following those regulations. And before you follow my advice. First piece of advice, big inside corner, big inside corner right here. And the edge is cut down vertically and also undercut. That is a great spot to try on the inside inside corner I should say, in an undercut bank. If you dig down under there, any material that washed out of that bank that may have had gold in it, the gold would have fallen and stuck right there. You may have to dig down a ways before you get to it, but inside bench, inside corner, that has an undercut bank like this, always a great spot to check. I'm not going to today though. I'm going up to some better looking stuff. And of course, an inside corner where it's created a gravel bar. Find any of the bigger rocks on this gravel bar, dig down behind them, and that's always good gold behind a rock on an inside corner. And you can see people have done a lot of that around here. I need to do my first pan of the day. There's a big rock. It's on an inside bend. It almost looks like bedrock beside it. Let's do a pan there and see what comes out of it. So there you go. You basically can't go wrong on Tranquille Creek. If you dig behind a rock on an inside corner, you'll always find, a few little specks. Not much, because it's not the greatest spot, but you can't go wrong. You always get something. So continuing my walk upriver, here's another one of those big long inside bends with an undercut bank, and you can see people have been working all along it. Probably find a pretty nice gold. Now, when you are looking for inside corners and stuff to work, watch out for sections like this. See this big bar over here? It looks like a big inside corner, but look at the overall river channel. The river channel is straight. So in runoff, the water's coming down here, barreling down very straight. It came around that corner up there to start with because it hugs the inside corner. It's going around that corner there, hugging the inside corner. So even though that looks to be an inside bar right there, really the gold probably followed this side all the way down. I'm not saying don't try spots like that. There could be gold anywhere, and there are deposits, you know, where you don't think it should be. But the rule of thumb suggests that that bar inside corner is probably not going to have as good of gold as this edge, especially that inside corner and that inside corner. Those are the little idiosyncrasies that you need to know to be able to locate the best gold. And sure enough, on that little inside corner I was showing you that isn't really an inside corner, there's a million of these little holes where prospectors tried a little bit, probably didn't find anything, and moved on. Because the hole isn't any bigger than 1 or 2 shovelfuls, I assume they didn't find too much there. And there's lots of them down this sort of inside corner. Now moving up to the actual inside corner here, I see garbage. People, stop leaving garbage. I also see bedrock. And bedrock, I always gravitate to the bedrock. I like working bedrock. The biggest gold is always sitting on bedrock. So the bedrock here at Tranquille is a sort of sandstone type stuff that's really decomposed, falling apart. I don't see anything along here that I would really want to try though. It's too decomposing. It's just crumbling away, so there's no crevices and stuff for gold to get caught in. And there's no flat sections, boulders, anything that would catch gold really right here. So keep moving and pick up people's garbage. People. So this inside bend didn't look like anything special to me, really. Yeah. However, I get to the top edge here and I see a big crater. I see another big crater, another one. Someone's working over here. People have actually done some significant work here. There's a chance that that means they were finding better gold. Could mean a few other things too, but let's just take a pan from the best looking one here and see what kind of gold they were finding. Well, let's see what it has in it. Another tip for testing: get yourself full pans, nice full pans. Don't do little tests, do nice big tests. So sure enough, they were on some gold. Speck there, a speck up there, you know, one over here, one there. We had some okay gold for the little test pan. Nothing great though. So there's my next tip. Look to what others are doing, where they're working, because it's quite possible they know more than you, either of the area or gold panning in general. See what they're up to. Maybe emulate their workings a little bit. There's okay gold here. It's not for me though. And my little PSA for the day: people, fill in your holes, clean up your garbage, clean up the bars. The government, the Ministry of Mines, is looking for excuses to shut down placer, especially recreational panning. If you give them the excuse, they will do it. Don't build a stick they're gonna use to beat you with. Moving on upriver. Now this is an interesting one. Talking about a little bit of the hydrodynamics here. Typically you find gold on an inside corner. That's because gold is lazy, gold is heavy, it actually takes the shortest possible route around a corner. Usually coming around like that, following the inside. However, look at this river here. See all those great big cobbles there? The water is coming around that corner at full tilt in high water. It's coming around hard and hitting this bank. It's coming in straight, hitting the bank. The big things, the big cobbles are dropping right there because that's where the water actually loses its energy because it's pushing up against this bank, creating a bit of sort of a wave or a really high pressure zone that creates a bit of a low pressure behind it, the big rocks drop out. That along that edge could have good big gold in it, but it will have sunk down for miles. The smaller gold actually gets pushed through up against this edge, and the water is rushing down here so hard that it is being flushed right through. And right there is a good spot to try, because that's where it first loses its energy, finds a little hidey hole that it could actually fall in there. This bar right here might be an okay place to try, because fast water into a sharp 90-degree corner pushes it up the edge, and then harsh turbulence blasts it down here, scouring until it drops. Just a little bit about hydrodynamics. And if anyone likes to do underwater sniping like Pioneer Polly, those cracks and crevices right down there in this high turbulence area might be a great spot to find some nuggets. See this little pile of boulders right here along this high pressure zone? That means for some reason the water right there lost a bit of energy, a little bit of a low pressure. Right there might be a great spot to test. Now, a place I really like looking is where you see bedrock like that, and it has, you know, river cobbles on top of it. So in general, bedrock with cobbles is a great place to check up in those cobbles. However, I can tell by looking at this, with the way the stones are stacked and how uniform everything is, that this is old workings. This is what we call Chinese hand stack probably, although it has been filled in with a lot of debris. These are old tailings, so the chances of finding anything in those tailings is very slim. Though I know a place like that upriver where the gravel is not tailings. Let's go have a look at that. Fill in your craters, people. Now, about 3 videos ago from this river, I did a video where I was cleaning out cracks and opening up cracks in bedrock to find gold, and I was working just along this spot right here. I find it very interesting how much more work has been done since I was here. A lot more has been broken off, a lot more of a pit over there. There was no workings when I first got here. Something I haven't really talked about today as much, because I've talked about so much before here on this river, is fractured up bedrock with open cracks to have material in those cracks. That is the best place to look for big gold. But I've done that to death on video, so we're showing you other things today. Thank you, whoever that is. Well done. I really like the looks of this inside corner I'm on right now. Look at the size of the cobbles that are on it. Big boulders. That means higher flow rate in here, dropping heavier things, and lots of places for material heavies to hide in behind. This would be a great inside corner to test. Big boulders means bigger gold. I think I'm gonna have to test that theory. Take a pan from one of these pits and see if the bigger cobbles means bigger gold. So, pan full from right there is right there. Let's pan her out. And absolutely the 2 biggest flakes of the day, plus a bunch of little stuff on the bar that has the big cobbles. Bigger cobbles means bigger gold. And if you want something for scale, here's my finger against that gold, just to show you that it's not massive gold, but they're very nice flakes. Took another pan from that spot. No more really big flakes, some okay gold, and a really nice garnet. And before I move on, one more pan from that same spot shows me more nice gold. But I'm not here to recover lots and lots of gold today. I'm here to show where you should be digging. So I'm going to go up and find more spots. Now this intrigues me. This is our decomposed sandstone bedrock on the bottom. This is definitely bedrock. We've got big cobbles sitting on top of the bedrock, and then we have what looks to be old tailings on top of the big cobbles. If I can find any river run stuff down in amongst these big cobbles, I think what I could say most likely is that they put tailings on top of virgin ground. So there might be some good gold in there. I'm going to investigate this a little bit and see if I can find the perfect deposit. This looks to be river deposited material, not tailings like we see above. So that might be a spot to try. In fact, don't mind me falling. I'm gonna take a pan from right there and see if it shows any gold. Okay, let's see if that old channel gravel, that stuff there, has anything in it. I was scraping the bedrock. I was scraping the very bottom of the bedrock, and that's what this stuff is, you know, scraped up bedrock. Let's hope there's some gold. Oh yeah, nice gold. So not too shabby at all. That old channel has a fair amount of gold in it. Nice. Did one more pan from that shelf, and not as big of pieces, but just as plentiful. The last pan, the pieces were, 2 to 3 times that size. Anyhow, let's move on. Into another gravel bar with big boulders here. So again, I'd assume if we dug into the gravels, say over there, we'd probably find big gold again. Another one of these deposits, bedrock, river gravels. It's up pretty high, but I might climb up there and take a pan. So one pan full from right there is right there. I don't really want to get up underneath that any more than I already am. And what did we find? Nothing. Nothing right there. Wah, wah, wah. And the second pan from that spot has nothing. That spot sucks! So in 2 pans, one from there and one from there was no gold. Now a 2-pan test of a deposit that size is a very limited test. It doesn't really show what could be there. It just means in those 2 pans there was nothing. But I still want to move on and see other ground. That still is a good spot to try, just doesn't necessarily mean you'll find. Now there are 2 spots I've neglected to mention anything about here, just because I haven't seen any good ones upstream. I just walked back down to where I know there was a good example of it. First is bedrock pockets. Bedrock pocket. This one is very freshly cleaned out. Whoever cleaned this out for the first time probably did very well in there. I've cleaned out pockets just over there. They're covered with slough right now. They're like really deeply covered in slough that had many pickers in them. In fact, you can go back and watch that video. I have that video here, and it was some good gold. But anywhere you have hard bedrock like this that has lots of cracks and crevices and rocks wedged down into pockets, those pockets could hold great gold. This is always one of my go-to spots. I can always find pickers here if I want to find a picker. Is also bedrock, but it's fractured up, broken bedrock. These kind of cracks, just like that, can hold great gold. Either get in there with a pick and scratch them out, or if it's loose, wiggle it out and get the material that's in those cracks. Cracks in bedrock, pockets in bedrock, bedrock in general is my favorite. And I always test that kind of spot first. And if I remember when editing, I'll leave some pictures here of the gold I've got from pockets and from fractured bedrock. It's amazing. I've walked from the park up to the dam, showing all the different places I would try along the way. If you know Tranquille, you know it gets better and better the farther up you go. You can walk for about an hour upriver, and at one point you come to a slot canyon where you basically just can't walk any farther. You either swim up the canyon or walk up over the mountain. But it gets even better after that. That's not in today's video, that's for sure. That's not in my heart, that's for sure. This is the old water dam up here on Tranquille. It used to feed the ghost town down below. It's drinking water and irrigation water and all that kind of stuff. Now it's just an old derelict. Up there is where the gold is. Well, there's the gold I got for the last 2 days here on Tranquille. Not too bad considering I was mostly taking videos, not actually, you know, panning for recovering lots of gold. And one nice garnet too. Why not? Let's see how much that weighs. Comes out to 0.25 grams. Nice. So I think I'm going to take this, mix it into a pay dirt bag, and put it up on my auctions. Anyone want some Tranquille gold? You can bid on my auctions. www.danhurdprospecting.com. Well, everyone, I really hope you enjoyed my video here, and I hope that if there was something that you could learn, you learned it along the way. Hope it was helpful for some of you out there. If you liked the video, please give me that thumbs up. If I haven't earned your subscription already, I hope I've earned your subscription today. And a big thanks to everyone for watching, especially my patrons. Because of the support of my patrons, I get to make weekly episodes of Dan Hurd Prospecting. Hope you're all having an amazing day. And until the next video, bye. I just came across a prospector who warned me there's a bear down here somewhere. Woohoo! I get to see a bear, maybe, or be a snack for a bear.